computer literacy is going to be more and more important. And learning the traditional 3 R's of reading, writing, arithmetic will not be enough. New technology can bring opportunities. New technology can make established practice obsolescent. Jack Ma at the very recent Davos Economic Forum had a very good speech talking to a group of young people. And he said in year 2030, 800 million jobs might be lost. So we have to be cognizant of that. Because learning issues associated with rising life expectancy, are retirees expected to learn? Another problem we're facing, Cambodia, you remember in the 70s, Pol Pot killed a whole generations of intellectuals. And they are now having problems of lack of personnel teaching. 2 well-known educationists, Ken Robinson and Seth Godin, said education is modeled what we went through, is in the interest of the industrial age and in the image of it. And the sole intent of education system was to train people to be willing to work in a factory. And as a result of that, this is what we see in our education system. Children comes in batches, block of it, Sec 1, Sec 2, Sec 3, whatever happens, you move up. There's lack of autonomy. What you learn, what you have to memorize, what is output is all fixed. Inauthentic learning, in the sense that, are you really learning? Most of the time is memorizing. There's little room for passion and interest. We all have differences in how we learn. We all have differences in the rate at which we learn. And so the common classroom lectures might not fit everybody. What is computational thinking skills? This is a definition from Carnegie Mellon University in the paper they published. It is a thought process involved in formulating problems. You have to formulate a problem in a particular way, look for the solution in a form that can be carried out by a computer. And it enables you to use computation to solve your need. This is computational skill. And a lot are beginning to think computer literacy should include computational skills. So to me, experiential learning is very important. How can we teach our children computational skill? Now, you bear with me, this will run for about a couple of minutes. Scratch Junior is one example. Okay, the point of showing you that is you can use little things like that. It's like little Lego blocks. Remember, I said play is important. And while the kid is playing, the kid doesn't realize he's also learning. And this is what is one of the things to teach computational skill. You play, you notice there was a lot of experiment. Making mistakes doesn't matter. You correct your mistakes and try again. So the kids can learn making mistakes doesn't matter. There are also rules that you have to follow. So you realize in society there are rules, there are certain rules you have to follow, but making mistakes you can correct and so on. So while learning to play, while playing, he's actually imbibing a lot of things. Now, what about for older people? If we have to learn, going to classrooms and so on, takes time to travel and so on. So this thing called massive open online courses, or MOOCs, became very popular in around 2012. How are MOOCs different from other courses? They're online and therefore could be taken anytime. They have forums for discussion. And what is very interesting is if you have a problem you need solving, you go into a forum, post a problem, and usually within hours, if not 1 or 2 days, there'll be an answer because they have TAs monitoring it 24/7. Now, the only weakest link is the exam. Because you can sit the exam, I can sign up for the course, I get somebody to do the exam for me. There's no proof that it was me who answered. So unless the exam is proctored, the certificate has a bit of a problem there. Can you trust it? Can you not trust it? It's an honest system. The other thing is, the person taking course has to have tremendous willpower to continue. All the statistics shows roughly 5 to 10% of the people who sign up actually complete the course. India now is a big thing. A lot of universities are using the MOOCs. Rwanda, they did a study and found that it's very useful in the teaching. And they call it flipped classes. The reason why it's called flipped classroom is, in a normal classroom, you go to a classroom, you listen to a lecture, and you then go home and do your homework. The flipped classroom is, you do your homework by listening to lectures. And then you go to the classroom for the discussions and the projects, talk to the teachers and so on. So that's why it's called flipped, because the homework is actually watching the video. Even professionals, the British Medical Journal, talk about MOOCs in continuing medical education for doctors. Assuming an old man has no financial, no health problem, he's bored of being bored because being bored is boring. How does one deal with that? But what about learning new skills? Is it possible to still learn new skills? Not only for your own enrichment, but let's say you learn Scratch, you can then play with your grandchild, increase your bonding. So there are so many opportunities. And again, our government has this National Silver Academy portal. You can go in there, tell your friends who are 90 years old, try out. What if AI and robotics really lead to loss of 800 million jobs? By Jack Ma. And this is what Jack Ma said. Only by changing education can our children compete with machines. If we do not change the way we teach, 30 years later, we'll be in big trouble. Because the way we teach, the things we teach are the things from the past 200 years. It is knowledge-based. And we cannot teach our kids to compete with machines. They are smarter. Teachers must stop teaching knowledge. We have to teach something unique so that a machine can never catch up with us. These are the soft skills we need to be teaching our children. But in addition, I think creativity. Can we teach creativity? This is a very big question. And what is creativity? I think very important is invent problems. Not invent problems for other people. That's being a troublemaker. It is kind of, you know a certain discipline very well. To move forward is to think of any questions seriously you want to answer. There are courses on creativity, even on MOOCs. I've taken 2 of them, and it's very interesting. It involves getting you out of the comfort zone. Because by moving out of the comfort zone, all of a sudden, your usual channel of thinking is not that you have to do something. The liberal arts are important. Yes, the STEMs are important, but in order to create the juice of creativity, you have to go off a little bit into liberal arts as well. Now, having said all that, we mustn't forget the craftsman. Not everybody is academically inclined. A chef, a Michelin star chef, I don't think AI computers can ever replace him. I think something is in our society, we tend to kind of not hold them in high esteem. So maybe if our attitude towards people who work with their hands, hold them in high esteem, more people will be willing to go into that area and so on. So don't forget the craftsmen. I talk about AI, I talk about formal education, but the craftsmen are as important. I'm very happy that yesterday I saw in the Straits Times, I really think our government is quite amazing. Poly students sample courses before specializing. It's like giving them freedom to find what's happening before they go straight. You can have a total chaos, not doing anything, but at some time later on in life, you give them direction, they can still achieve. Total random, uncontrolled will not achieve anything. Too rigid a regime for doing things will not lead you to the highest point of your potential. Have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of randomness.